Listen very well, because this is not just the story of one man. This is the story of how justice truly works in Nigeria and who it works for. Sunday Jackson is a Nigerian Christian farmer who was criminally sentenced to death after defending himself against armed attackers. And instead of praising him for surviving, the Nigerian system decided that his life was worth nothing. Judges and lawyers told him clearly that he had no right to defend himself, that he should have allowed himself to be killed, that survival itself was a crime, and that is the level of madness we are dealing with in this country. Sunday Jackson was not a terrorist, he was not carrying bombs, he was not attacking villages, he was simply a farmer trying to live. And when men linked to the same violent networks that have turned farms into graveyards came for his life, he fought back and stayed alive. And for that single act of self-defense, the Nigerian system said he must die. They sentenced him to death, not because he killed innocent people, but because he refused to become another forgotten victim. And make no mistake about it, if not for international pressure, if not for loud voices from the United States, if not for the backlash that followed warnings from Donald Trump over the killing of Christians in Nigeria, Sunday Jackson would be dead today. It was not because Nigerian politicians suddenly grew conscience. It was not because judges suddenly remembered justice. It was not because those who criminalized self-defense repented. It was because the world was watching. And that alone should terrify every Nigerian, because it means justice here only works when foreigners are looking. So let us ask the question Nigerians are afraid to ask. If America did not intervene, if US lawmakers did not raise alarm, if the international community kept quiet, would Sunday Jackson be alive today? The honest answer is no. This case has exposed something very ugly and very dangerous about Nigeria. That in this country, terrorists are treated better than victims. Those who carry guns and destroy lives are negotiated with, rehabilitated, reintegrated, and sometimes protected, while those who defend themselves are hunted, jailed, and condemned. We have seen former Boko Haram fighters released back into society, some even absorbed into government programs, while peaceful activists from the south who speak against killings are labeled enemies, arrested, or shot. Protest peacefully and you are a criminal. Massacre villages and you are misguided. This is the twisted reality. When communities cry for help, leaders go silent. But when a farmer fights back, the full weight of the law suddenly appears. And that tells you this was never about law or justice. It was always about who the system chooses to protect. Why is it that when armed groups wipe out villages, burn homes, and displace families, political leaders struggle to condemn them clearly? But when victims resist, the same leaders shout blood. Why do judges look at a man who defended his life and say he should have allowed himself to be killed? That mindset is evil and dangerous because it sends a message that your life is negotiable. Your survival depends on politics and your rights end where power begins. And the most shameful part is that everything only changed when international eyes turned toward Nigeria. Suddenly files moved faster, suddenly statements were released, suddenly mercy appeared. So were they wrong before, or are they just afraid now? Because justice that only comes under pressure is not justice, it is damage control. And this is not an isolated case. Nigerians have watched this pattern for years. Violence spreads, communities are destroyed, farmers abandon land, children grow up in IDP camps, yet those responsible are rarely punished. But let someone from the other side speak or defend themselves and the hammer comes down hard. This selective justice tells criminals that violence pays and tells victims that resistance is illegal. And that is why Sunday Jackson's case matters. Because today it is him, tomorrow it can be anyone. And no, we cannot just move on because he's been freed. We must ask why it took foreign pressure to do what was morally right. Why self-defense was treated as murder. Why those who excuse terror always speak louder than those who bury the dead. Why there's more outrage when terrorists are confronted than when innocent people are killed. These questions are uncomfortable, but they must be asked. Because a country that punishes survival is a country in crisis. Nigeria's problem is not religion. Nigeria's problem is extremism protected by power, silence from leaders, and a justice system that bends depending on who is watching. When the world looks away, injustice grows bold. When the spotlight returns, suddenly there is pardon and review, and that tells you everything. Sunday Jackson's freedom is good news, but it is also an indictment of a system that almost killed an innocent man, an indictment of leaders who only act when pressured, and an indictment of judges who forgot that the law exists to protect life, not end it. And the final question Nigerians must hold on to is this: how many others did not survive because nobody spoke for them? How many names we will never hear because there was no international outrage? If justice only works when foreigners shout, then Nigeria must ask itself who truly governs this country. This is Trend Fusion. We don't decorate injustice, we don't fear power, we call a spade a spade. Follow Trend Fusion, subscribe, like, and share, because silence is what keeps this system alive.